Hello friends, I hope you are all doing good. Welcome back. So in our previous class we had discussed about charge under GST, and in our today's class we are going to start our discussion on a beautiful topic called as composition scheme, section 10, composition levy. Important chapter for this examination because last examination they have not asked any question on composition scheme, and even in other way this is an important chapter. Normally they keep on asking questions from this particular chapter. So in our today's class we are going to discuss about this composition scheme. Very small chapter, very small discussion. It is only one section which you have to learn in this topic, which is section number 10, composition levy. Section 10 subsection 1, section 10 subsection 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have one more section called as section 10(2)(a). So without wasting a single second, let me straight away start my discussion on this composition scheme. Section 10 subsection 1 talks about eligibility. Who is eligible to become a composition dealer? Section 10 subsection 1 says a registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year, a registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year did not exceed 1.5 crore rupees or 75 lakhs in case of 8 special category states, he may opt to pay tax at composite rates in lieu of, instead of paying the tax at normal rates. So instead of paying the tax under section 9 subsection 1, a person can pay the tax at composite rates. Sir, what are the composite rates? If you are a manufacturer, it is 0.5% of turnover in the state, that is 0.5% CGST and 0.5% SGST. Effectively it is 1% of turnover in the state. If you are a restaurant or outdoor catering service provider, for you it is 2.5% of turnover in the state, 2.5% CGST, 2.5% SGST. Effectively it is how much, sir? 5% of turnover in the state. And if you are other category of dealers in goods, you can be a wholesaler, retailer, trader, etc., then it is 0.5% of taxable turnover in the state, 0.5% of taxable turnover in the state. Effectively it is 1% of taxable turnover in the state. Now please note, who is eligible to become a registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year, your aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year should not exceed 1.5 crore rupees or 75 lakhs in case of 8 special category states. So sir, if I want to start the business this year, I am going to see the aggregate turnover of preceding financial year, previous year, last year. So if my aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year did not exceed 1.5 crores, then I can become a composition dealer in this particular year, provided that this limit can be increased from 1.5 crores up to 2 crores. Sir, you said the limit is 1.5 crores and 75 lakhs in case of 8 special category states, sir. Sir, which are these 8 special category states for which the limit is 75 lakhs? The 8 special category state for which limit is 75 lakhs is Mast. The 8 special category states for which the limit is 75 lakhs is which states, sir? Mast. N for Nagaland, U for Uttarakhand, M for Manipur, M for Meghalaya, M for Mizoram, A for Arunachal Pradesh, S for Sikkim, and T for Tripura. For these states, for Mast, the limit is 75 lakhs. For Mast, what is the limit, sir? It is 75 lakhs. If you are doing business in these states, then for you the limit of the lower limit of 75 lakhs will be applicable. And if you have your place of business in this special category states, 8 special category states and other states, for you the limit of that special category state will apply for entire India. Okay, who is eligible? A registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year. Sir, what do you mean by aggregate turnover? Very important definition, most important definition in your entire GST law. This is the definition which you should compulsorily be knowing. Aggregate turnover means aggregate value. Sir, what do you mean by aggregate value? That is that nothing but total value. Aggregate turnover means the aggregate value of all taxable supplies which you are making, aggregate value of all exempt supplies which you are making, aggregate value of all export of goods or services which you are making, and interstate supply to a person having same pen. Aggregate turnover means what, sir? The aggregate value, that is nothing but the total value of what? Taxable supplies, exempt supplies, export of goods or services, interstate supply to a person having same PAN. This aggregate turnover is required to be computed by you on all India basis or pan India basis, and it shall exclude, in computation of this aggregate turnover, you are not required to include, it shall exclude the taxes under GST, that is IGST, CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST, GST compensation cess, and your inward supply liable for reverse charge. So whatever purchases you are making, whatever inward supply which you are making, on which you have to pay tax under reverse charge, that also shall be excluded. Aggregate turnover means aggregate value, total value of all taxable supplies. It does not matter matter whether it is an interstate taxable supply or intrastate taxable supplies. Whatever different types of taxable supplies you are making, you should include in aggregate turnover. Exempt supplies, again it does not matter whether it is an intrastate exempt supply or interstate exempt supply, all the exempt supplies should be included. Sir, what do you mean by exempt supply? Exempt supply means three things. Exempt supply means the supply which are wholly exempt under section 11 of CGST Act or under section 6 of IGST Act, the supply which are nil rated, and it includes non-taxable supplies. Sir, what do you mean by exempt supply? Sir, exempt supply means supplies which are wholly exempt, supplies which are nil rated, and it includes non-taxable supplies. Sir, what do you mean by nil rated? Sir, nil rated supply means those supply for which the rate of tax is nil, or for which the rate of tax is 0%, or for which the rate of tax is, say, nothing has been specified, it is left blank, or dash has been given over there. And what do you mean by non-taxable supplies? Sir, the supply for which the provisions of the supplies which are not taxable under GST law, basically, which is alcoholic liquor for human consumption and HP man. So alcoholic liquor for human consumption and HP man, they are presently not taxable under GST law, therefore these are non-taxable supplies. And wholly exempt supplies, there is a section called as section 11. Those section 11 gives the list of goods as well as list of services by way of a notification which is exempt under GST law, that is not taxable, that is exempt, in the sense that is included in the definition of exempt supplies. Then export of goods or services. Sir, what do you mean by export of goods or services? Export of goods or services, any goods which you are exporting from India to a place outside India, which you are any services which you are exporting from India to a place outside India. Please note, under GST law, export of goods or services is also called as zero rated supply. Very important. Export of goods or services is also called as what, sir? Zero rated supply. And interstate supply to a person having same PAN. So if you are making transfer to your own branch which is in another state, if you are making a transfer to your own branch in another state, interstate supply to a person having same PAN, then that also shall be included in aggregate turnover. Now whenever you are computing this aggregate turnover, you should compute it on all India basis, or you should compute it on PAN India basis. Sir, what do you mean by this? Meaning, in India, under the same PAN, if you have 10 branches, include all the 10 branches. If you have 10 different types of business, include all those 10 different types of business also. Meaning, under a same PAN, how many number of branches you have, how many different types of business you are doing. For example, I am doing a business of sari, Priya Sarees. The business is there in Karnataka, it is there in Tamil Nadu, it is there in Rajasthan, it is there in Delhi, it is there in Maharashtra, it is there in West Bengal, etc. So I am doing business at all these different locations. I am doing business, I am having branches at all these different locations. So whenever I am computing my aggregate turnover, I should take into consideration the total turnover from all these different branches. Sir, what if I have different types of business? I have a sari business, I have a sweet business, I have a dupatta business, I have a chudidar business. Then what will you do, sir? You should take into consideration the total turnover of all these different business also, if they are all registered under same PAN. But when you are computing aggregate turnover, you should not include two things. One is your taxes under GST law. Taxes under GST law means what, sir? What are the different types of taxes you have? CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST, etc. And inward supply liable for reverse charge. The purchases which you have made and on which you have to pay the tax under reverse charge, that also shall not be included while computing your aggregate turnover. I'll repeat. Who is eligible to become a composition dealer? A registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year did not exceed 1.5 crore rupees or 75 lakhs in case of 8 special category states may opt to pay tax at composite rates in lieu of paying the tax at normal rates. What are the composite rates? 0.5% of turnover in the state if you are a manufacturer, restaurant and outdoor catering service provider 2.5% of turnover in the state, and for all other dealers of goods it is 0.5% of taxable turnover in the state, provided that this limit which is there, that limit can be increased. That limit can be increased up to what amount, sir? This limit which we have, that limit can be increased up to 2 crore rupees. This limit can be increased up to 2 crore rupees, provided further that a registered person who is opting to pay tax under section 10 may also supply services. Now one of the first condition says, section 10(2) talks about condition that a composition dealer should not supply services other than those mentioned in section 10 subsection 1. However, there is a proviso which is given, to section 10 subsection 1, which says if you are a person who is eligible to become a composition dealer as per section 10 subsection 1, then I will allow you to supply services, but only up to some limit. I will allow you to supply services only up to some limit, meaning, please note, you should first be eligible to become a composition dealer under this provision section 10 subsection 1, meaning either you should be a manufacturer, or you should be a restaurant service provider, or you should be under dealer of goods. So following that 1.5 crores turnover and 75 lakhs turnover limit, etc., you should complete. So if you are eligible to become a composition dealer as per section 10 subsection 1, then only this service provision will apply. Then you can supply services. How much services can I supply, sir? You can supply services up to 10% of turnover in the state or union territory in the preceding financial year, or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. Sir, if I don't have any turnover in the state in the preceding financial year, okay, no issues. 5 lakh rupees, up to 5 lakh rupees you can supply. So 10% of turnover in the state or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is higher, you can supply services. Now, very, very, very important point I am going to tell you. In case of composition scheme, whenever you are determining the aggregate turnover for checking the eligibility, whether you are eligible to become a composition dealer or not, whenever you are computing the tax liability of a composition dealer, 1% or 5% of turnover in the state, you are required to compute the tax liability. Whenever you are computing the tax liability, and whenever you are computing the value of services as per second proviso to section 10 subsection 1, that is the 10% of turnover in the state or 5 lakh rupees, whenever you are computing the value of that particular services, you should not include interest income. Whenever you are doing these three things, when you are computing the aggregate turnover to check the eligibility, when you are computing the tax liability for of a composition dealer, or when the value of services as per second proviso, when you are computing these three things, make sure that interest income is not added by you in this computation, meaning tax is not required to be paid on interest income. Aggregate turnover, actually interest income is an exempt income, but when you are computing the aggregate turnover to check whether he is eligible to become a composition dealer or not, don't include interest income. When you are finding the value of services as per second proviso, please don't include interest income. You are not supposed to include interest income in doing this kind of computation. Sir, what is this interest income, sir? See, basically, in short, we use the word interest income. In the law, if you see, they have used the word value of exempt services by way of extending deposits, loans or advances, insofar as the consideration is represented by way of interest or discount. So if you have any income under this particular head, okay, if you have this particular income, then you should not include that in computation of these three things. Okay, so this is with respect to eligibility. So once you are eligible to become a composition dealer, you will have to satisfy some condition. If you want to be a composition dealer, you will have to satisfy the conditions. What are the conditions which is required to be satisfied by me, sir? Point number 1, a registered person shall not be eligible to become a registered person will be eligible to become a composition dealer if he is not engaged in supply of services other than those mentioned in 10(1). So if I am a chartered accountant, can I become a composition dealer as per section 10 subsection 1? No. If I am a say hair artist, I am having a beauty salon or etc., then can I become a composition dealer? Answer is no, I cannot become a composition dealer because I am supplying only services. Then he shall not be engaged in making interstate outward supply. If you want to become a composition dealer, then you should not supply to a place other than outside your state. You should not make interstate outward supply. Sir, can I purchase from other states? Yes, 100% yes. You can make interstate inward supplies, but you cannot make interstate outward supplies. Then he shall not supply through an e-commerce operator who is required to collect taxes under section 52. There is something called as section 52. So section 52 52 talks about e-commerce operator. For example, Flipkart, Priya Sarees and a customer. So Priya Sarees has listed their products on Flipkart. A customer places an order. Flipkart gives the information to Priya Sarees. Priya Sarees supplies the goods. Customer will make the payment to Flipkart and Flipkart is going to make the payment to me. So in this case, section 52 says, hey Flipkart, because the Priya Sarees has supplied through e-commerce operator and because the payment is routed through e-commerce operator, when you make the payment to Mr. Dilip, no, you please collect taxes. You please collect taxes at 1%. So some provisions like this is there. So I cannot make supply through that kind of e-commerce operator who is required to collect the taxes. Then he shall not manufacture notified goods. Can a manufacturer become an e-commerce operator? Answer is 100% yes, but he should not manufacture notified goods. Which are these? Ice cream, pan masala, tobacco products, aerated waters, roofing tiles, bricks, etc. So I should not I should not manufacture notified goods. One more condition, I should not make interstate outward supply. I should not make, interstate outward supplies. I should not make non-taxable supplies. I should not make what kind of supplies are non-taxable supplies should not be made by me. And if, meaning I should not make alcoholic liquor, supply of alcoholic liquor, or I should not make supply of HP man. So if I am a restaurant who is also supplying liquor in it, can I become a composition dealer? No. Can a restaurant become a composition dealer? Yes. If it is supplying liquor, no. Then if you are a casual taxable person or non-resident taxable person, a casual taxable person and non-resident taxable person cannot become a composition dealer. Sir, who is a casual taxable person? A casual taxable person is a person who is doing business, who is doing the transaction of supply of goods or services at a place which is not his usual place of business. A casual taxable person is a person who is undertaking the transaction of supply of goods and services occasionally at a place where he does not have any place of business. For example, Priya Sarees' place of business is in Bangalore. Now there is an exhibition which is happening in Mumbai. So for 15 days I go to that exhibition to sell my sarees over there. I will be called as a casual taxable person in Mumbai. Sir, what is this non-resident taxable person? Non-resident taxable person is also casual taxable person only, who is coming from outside India basically. So non-resident taxable person is a person who is coming from outside India and doing business activity in India occasionally where he does not have any place of business. Now very important proviso. Sir, I have two different types of business, sir. One, I want to opt for composition scheme. Other, I want to become a regular dealer, sir. Can I do that? Can I do that? Answer is no. This proviso says that. Provided that proviso to section 10 subsection 2, provided that where there are more than one registered person under same PAN, if one opts for composition scheme, others also should opt for composition scheme. If there are more than one registered person under same PAN, if one is opting for composition scheme, make sure that others also should opt for composition scheme. If one opts for composition scheme, others also should opt for composition scheme. Section 10(2)(a), composition scheme for service providers. Now if you are a person who is not eligible to become a composition dealer under section 10 subsection 1 and 10 subsection 2, and if your aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year did not exceed 50 lakh rupees and you are supplying services, then in such cases you can become a composition dealer under section 10 subsection 2(a), wherein you will have to pay the tax at 3% of turnover in the state or union territory, 3% CGST, 3% SGST, effectively it is 6%. And sir, conditions, all the conditions which is applicable to a normal composition dealer shall also apply to a service provider who opts for composition scheme, except the supply of service condition. Then section 10 subsection 3 says your composition scheme shall lapse in current financial year. Your composition scheme shall lapse in current financial year if your aggregate turnover crosses that specified limit. If your aggregate turnover crosses that limit of 75 lakhs or 1.5 crores or 50 lakhs in case of service provider in the current financial year, say for example I have opted composition scheme and during the year my turnover crossed that particular limit, then I will no more be eligible to become a composition dealer, meaning my composition scheme shall lapse. Now please note here there are one question which normally, say for example I started my business on 1st April and I opted for composition scheme on 10th of December my turnover crossed 1.5 crores. Now for this period, sir, sir, because it has crossed 1.5 crores, my composition scheme has lapsed. Section 10 subsection 3 will be applied, correct? So sir, what about the supplies which is made by me during the period from the date I took registration as a composition dealer till that period it is lapsed? Should I pay tax at normal rates for this supply or should I pay the tax at composite rates? So they say till it is lapsed, whatever supplies is made by you will be taxable at composite rates, and after that whatever supply you are going to make will be taxable at normal rates. Then section 10 subsection 4 says a composition dealer cannot issue tax invoice. Whatever taxes he is there, he cannot collect the taxes on the supplies which is made by him. He cannot issue a tax invoice, and he cannot take input tax credit. A composition dealer cannot take input tax credit, meaning whatever purchases he has making, no, he cannot take input tax credit. So in short, if I say, the composition dealer has to pay the taxes in cash from his own pocket. He cannot collect from the customers, as well as he cannot take the benefit of the taxes paid by him on his purchases. Then section 10 subsection 5, a notice will be issued to a composition dealer by the proper officer if he has a reason to believe that he is paying the tax under section 10 though he is not eligible. Then this person should reply to the notice, reply is satisfactory, very good. If it is not satisfactory, then he will be asked to pay the tax at normal rates, and also the penalty provisions under 73 and 74 may apply. And rule 5 talks about other conditions. A casual taxable person and non-resident taxable person cannot become a composition dealer. Now, if you are a composition dealer, your outward supplies, your outward supplies will be taxable at composite rates, but your inward supplies will be taxable at your normal rates only. So if there is any inward supply on which you have to pay the taxes under reverse charge, then that will be taxable at normal rates only. You will have to pay the tax under normal rates. Then I will have to, if you opt for composition scheme, you will have to mention the word composition taxable person on every notice board and sign board which is placed in your principal place of business and additional place of business. And you will also have to mention the word composition taxable person not eligible to collect taxes on supplies on the bill of supply which is issued by you. You have to issue a document called as bill of supply. On that bill of supply you will have to mention this particular word. Then other points with respect to composition scheme, a composition dealer has to file a return called as GSTR4. This return is required to be filed once in a year, and the due date of filing this return is 30th of April of next financial year. So 30th April of next financial year. So once the financial year is ending, so next year's April month last date, and he has to make the payment of taxes to the government on quarterly basis by using this form called as form GST CMP 08, and the due date for making the payment of tax is 18th of next month following the quarter. 18th of next month following the quarter. GSTR4 is the return which is required to be filed, which is filed once in a year, and GST CMP 08 is the challan which is used for making the payment of tax. Okay, so this is all about your composition scheme. Very simple topic, composition scheme. Now let us see the questions. This topic, though it is so simple, in examination it is a topic on which questions are normally asked. So very beautiful topic, very important. Okay, so let us do some questions on this beautiful topic called as composition scheme. First we'll do questions on aggregate turnover and then composition scheme. So XYZ Limited, XYZ Limited is manufacturing company located in Bangalore. During the financial year 23-24, the total value of supplies including inward supplies under reverse charge are as follows. You are required to calculate aggregate turnover. So you are required to compute the aggregate turnover in this case. So they say it has made an intrastate supply of nil rated intrastate supply of goods which is taxable under nil rate. So will it be included in your aggregate turnover computation? Yes sir, nil rated suppliers are also required to be included in computation of aggregate turnover. Then intrastate supply taxable under forward charge, is it required to be included? Yes, that will also be included. Intrastate supply of exempted goods 25 lakhs, yes, that will also be included. Exempt supply will also be included in aggregate turnover. Inward supply liable for reverse charge. Inward supply liable for reverse charge is something which you should not include while computing your aggregate turnover, so this will not be included. Interstate supply to different customers. So you are making supply to different customers at in other states, so that also will be included. And interstate supply to a person having same PAN, yes, that also will be included. So what is the aggregate turnover in this case? 15 plus 20, 35, 35 plus 5, 40, 40, 60, 60, 110, 110 plus 122 lakhs or 1.22 crores. Compute the aggregate turnover in the following case. Aggregate turnover shall not include taxes under GST. So first case they have given that the amount is 1 crore. It includes GST at 18%. So if I want to find the amount excluding GST, how will I do it, sir? Sir, very simple, sir. Write the amount including GST, multiply it by the tax rate, divide it by 100 plus tax rate, which will give you the amount, which is how much, sir? 1 crore into 18 divided by 118. One crore so this 18 divided by 118 will give you the tax amount, but 100 divided by 118 will give you the amount excluding the tax. So basically it is simple. Say 100, 18 rupees is the GST, 118 is the total. So now they have given us this amount. They have given us what amount, sir? They have given us this amount. We are supposed to find this amount. So basic max it is, but however there is a formula for this which is given in your rule number 35, which you will learn in final level, which says if you want to find amount excluding tax, then write amount including tax, multiply it by 100, divided by 100 plus tax rate, divided by 100 plus tax rate. So you will get this particular amount. Similarly for the next one, what is the answer, sir? 1 lakh 1.5 crores into 100 divided by 118. So 127,1186.4.41, or in simple words, fast calculation, directly you can do 175,00,123,000,1.18 divided by 1.18. 1.18 will give you 148,30,508.47. So in first three cases, can I say he is not eligible to become he can opt for composition scheme? Yes, he can opt for composition scheme. Last case, he cannot opt for composition scheme. Then Sound Limited, a manufacturer of audio systems, has 3 factories, Maharashtra, Delhi, Gujarat, and 2 service centers, Rajasthan and Karnataka. So they have given the outward supplies of all these businesses. They have given the total turnover. Now what is the total turnover? 5,90,000, 10,62,000, then 5,90,000 plus 12,98,000 plus 2,36,000. 37,76,000. Now they say this is including GST at 18%. So how do I find amount excluding GST divided by 1.18? So sir, if the GST rate was say 12%, divided by 1.12. If the GST rate was say 28%, divided by 1.28. So how much does this amount come to? It will come to 3710. Divided by 1.18, it comes to 32 lakhs. Okay, next question says Mr. Arun, an advocate, has supplied goods and services in financial year 23-24. Calculate the aggregate turnover. Intrastate supply of legal services to a business entity, yes, that will be included. Please note, this is outward supply which is taxable under revert charge. Okay, this is an outward supply. It is his outward supply on which the tax is required to be paid by recipient. Renting of immobile property included, trading of goods included, all the three things. You just have to include that. It will come to 30 lakhs 50,000, I think. Next, with the help of, this is an exam question. With the help of following information in case of Priya Enterprises Jaipur for the year 23-24, determine the aggregate turnover for the purpose of registration. Sale of diesel on which sales tax is levied, that is VAT is levied by Rajasthan. So diesel, whatever diesel I am supplying, whether diesel is required to be included in my aggregate turnover. Sir, aggregate turnover includes exempt supplies. Aggregate turnover means aggregate value of all taxable supplies, exempt supplies. Exempt supply definition says exempt supply means supplies which are wholly exempt, which are nil rated, and it includes non-taxable supplies. Non-taxable supply is nothing but diesel. Yes, I should include this. Supply of goods after completion of job work from the place of Priya Enterprises directly by the principal. So whether this also will be included, say actually job work provision is applicable for your final levels. Basically, yes, it is required to be included. Export supplies, this is a final question. Export supply to England, UK, exports also will be included. Supply to its own additional branch in Rajasthan. Intrastate supply to a person having same pen. If it is an interstate supply to a person having same pen, I will include. Because it is in same state, I will not include this. Outward supply on which GST is required to be paid by the recipient. Because it is our outward supply, yes, I will include this. So the total comes to 10 lakh rupees. The total comes to how much, sir? 10 lakh rupees. Question number 6. P Limited, registered person. Again an exam question. P Limited, a registered person. Following information for the October 23 is given. Intrastate outward supply include in aggregate turnover. Then interstate exempt supply, yes, include in aggregate turnover. Turnover of export include. IGST I will not include. Tax under GST law will not be included. CGST, SGST will not be included. Then payment of custom duty, yes, tax under other laws will be included. And payment made for availing means I have taken GTS services will not be included. So what is the aggregate turnover? So it is 28 plus 4 32 plus 40 32 lakhs 40,000. Next, questions on composition scheme. Z Limited is manufacturing concern in Goa. In financial year 23-24, total value of the supplies including inward supply from river charge is 1,65,000. So total purchases which is made by them is 1,65,000. Total value of supplies including inward supply they have given is 1,65 lakhs. Now you are required to, the breakup of which is given, you are required to compute its aggregate turnover and tell whether it is eligible to become a composition dealer or not. So 1,65 lakhs includes intrastate supply made under forward charge, okay, no issues. Anyways, it is required to be included in aggregate turnover. Intrastate supply made for which nil rate, yes, that will also be included in aggregate turnover. Intrastate supply which is wholly exempt, that also will be included in aggregate turnover. And value of inward supply on which tax is payable under river charge, this will not be included in aggregate turnover. So 1.65 crores, remove this 20 lakhs, you will get 1.45 crores. So where is he doing business? Have they given the place? Yes, he is doing business in Goa. The aggregate turnover is 1.45 crores. Can he become a composition dealer? Answer is yes. PQR Limited, a manufacturing concern, has affected intrastate taxable supplies of 40 lakhs and interstate taxable supplies of 5 lakhs in the financial year 22-23. The company wants to opt for composition scheme under section 10. As a GST consultant, advise whether it can opt for composition scheme. So 45 lakhs is the aggregate turnover. Can it opt for composition scheme? Answer is 100% yes, it can opt for composition scheme. However, they have asked us to advise. What advice should we give? Yes, in the present case, we should first write the provisions of section 10 subsection 1 telling yes, as per section 10 subsection 1, if your aggregate turnover is not more than 1.5 crores, you can become a composition dealer. In the present case, since the aggregate turnover of PQR Limited is not exceeding 1.5 crores, it can opt for composition scheme. However, conditions, section 10 subsection 2, which speaks about the conditions for composition scheme, a condition has been specified which says that composition dealer should not make interstate outward supply. So the advice given to PQR Limited is that it can opt for composition scheme provided that it does not make any interstate taxable supplies, it does not make any interstate outward supply basically once it has opted for composition scheme. Mr. A manufacturer who keeps no inventories, presents the following expected information for the year: purchases of goods and sales. Purchases, okay, sales they have given 75 lakhs, purchases 70 lakhs. Discuss whether he should opt for composition scheme if tax rate is 1% of turnover. 1% of turnover means 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST, they have given simple 1%. Okay. Now here the question is whether he should opt for composition scheme or not. How will I come to know that? You should compare what will be his cash outflow if he is a regular dealer, what will be his cash outflow if he is a composition dealer. Compare that and then decide. See, if he is a regular dealer, if he is a composition dealer, he cannot take input tax credit, but if he is a regular dealer, he can take input tax credit. So 75 lakhs into 5%. If he is a regular dealer, what will be his tax liability? We are seeing that 75 lakhs into 5%, 3,75,000, and 70 lakhs into 5%. He can also take input tax credit. If you are a regular dealer, you can also take input tax credit. So it comes to 3,50,000. So basically your cash outflow, you will have to pay tax of rupees 25,000 in cash. Then if I am not a composition, if I opt for composition scheme, then if you are a composition dealer, 75 lakhs into 1%, straight away you will have to pay 75,000 rupees tax, and entire tax is required to be paid by you in cash only. You cannot take input tax credit and you cannot collect from your customers. So what is better for him? Obviously not opting for composition scheme is better, opting for regular scheme is only better for him. Class Limited has two factories. One is located in Goa, manufacturing ready-made garment, and another one is located in Kerala, manufacturing auto components. The turnover of the companies are 28 lakhs and 46 lakhs respectively. The company wants to opt for composition scheme in Goa and regular scheme for Kerala. Advice: is it possible? Answer is no. Answer is no. As per the proviso to section 10 subsection 2, where there are more than one registered person under same PAN, if one is opting for composition scheme, others also should opt for composition scheme. Therefore, in the present case, Class Limited will have to opt for composition scheme for both the units. It cannot opt for composition scheme for one of its units, and for other units it cannot become a regular dealer. Then exam question. Prem is running a consultancy firm and a fancy store, registered under same PAN. Okay, turnover of fancy store is 65 lakhs and consultancy firm is 10 lakhs. Okay, so 75 lakhs. Please note the turnover is 75 lakhs, but they are both registered under same PAN. You are required to provide answer with supporting explanatory notes for each answer for the following. Is Prem eligible to become a composition dealer under section 10 subsection under section 10? His aggregate turnover is 75 lakhs. Normally, by seeing the aggregate turnover, our answer will normally be yes, he is eligible to become a composition dealer, but he is supplying services, and the services which is supplied by him is worth rupees how much? 10 lakh rupees. Now, because it is registered separately, services cannot become a composition dealer. Now, please note, if you are eligible to become a composition dealer under section 10 subsection 1, by seeing the turnover, yes, he is eligible to become a composition dealer. But section 10 subsection 2 condition says that you should not supply services. He is supplying services, but sir, that the proviso is there, no, which says he can supply services up to 10% of turnover in the state or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. Yes, even in that case, the maximum turnover, the services which is required to be supplied by him is 7.5 lakhs, because 75 lakhs into 10% or 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. In the present case, he is supplying more, therefore is not eligible. Whether it is possible for Prem to opt for composition scheme only for fancy store? No, he cannot do that. Only for fancy store? No, he cannot do that. Proviso to section 10 subsection 2a says if there are more than one registered person, one is opting for composition scheme, others also should opt for composition scheme. If Prem is running a restaurant with a turnover of 65 lakhs instead of consultancy's firm. So instead of consultancy firm, if he is running a restaurant which has a turnover of 65 lakhs and also has fancy store having a turnover of 65 lakhs, is he eligible? The turnover will become 130 lakhs. Is he eligible? Yes sir, it is not exceeding 1.5 crores, therefore he will be eligible to become a composition dealer. Then nice question, exam question, beautiful question. Gokhale and Sons is registered in Karnataka and paying GST under composition scheme. Provides the following details for 31st December 2023. Taxable supplies 25 lakhs and exempt supplies is 27 lakhs. Calculate tax without bifurcation which is required to be paid by Gokhale and Sons. If Gokhale is a manufacturer, if he is a trader. If he is a manufacturer, you will have to pay tax on turnover in the state. Turnover in the state means the total turnover of that particular state, irrespective of whether it is exempt, non-exempt, taxable, etc. So total sales is 52 lakhs. So 52 lakhs into 1%, which will be equal to 52,000. And if he is a trader, he has to pay tax only on taxable supplies, which is 25 lakhs into 1%, 25,000. Next, question number 13. Chanchal started providing beauty and grooming services and inaugurated Care and Care Beauty Center in Janakpuri, Delhi on 1st April 2023. She opted to pay tax under section 10 subsection 2a in the said financial year. The aggregate turnover of Care was 20 lakh rupees as on 30th June 2023. Further, for the half year ended 30th September 23, the turnover reached 50 lakhs and the Care Center record a rapid growth and turnover reached 70 lakhs by end of October. Determine the total tax liability of Care and Care by end of October. So what will be the tax liability of Care and Care by end of October? Now in the present case, what they are telling, it reached the turnover of 50 lakhs. When did it reach the turnover of 50 lakhs? By September. Now section 10.2a talks about composition scheme for service provider. For service provider, the limit is 50 lakhs. And 10.3 says once your composition scheme shall lapse this 50 lakhs, you will have to opt out of composition scheme. Your composition scheme shall lapse. So in the present case, you will have to give reference to those two sections first. You will have to write the provisions of this section and provisions of this section and then give your conclusion. In the present case, since the turnover has reached 50 lakhs in the month of September, so till this turnover of 50 lakhs, till the month of September, whatever supplies are made by Care and Care Beauty Center will be taxable at composite rates of, that is 3% of turnover the state, 3% CGST, 3% SGST, so which will be equal to 3 lakh rupees, which will be equal to 3 lakh rupees. Why is the 3 lakh? 50 lakhs into 6%, and after that whatever supplies were made, which is equal to 20 lakh rupees, it will be taxable at, because it is service, it will be taxable at 18%. Normally the rate of service is 18%. In 20 lakhs into 18%, which will be equal to 3 lakhs 60,000. So what is its total tax liability? 3.6 lakhs and 3 lakhs as a composition dealer, 3.6 lakhs as normal dealer. Next, Care and Care wishes to opt for composition scheme under section 10 subsection 1 for next financial year. You are required to advise, can it do so? Answer is no, because it is a service provider. For them, the option of 10.2a is only applicable. 10.1 is applicable for dealers of goods and a restaurant service provider. So you should write the provisions of section 10.1 over here. Sultan and Sons, a partnership firm in Nagpur, Maharashtra, is wholesaler of taxable product P, and product Q, exempt by way of notification in the state of Maharashtra. Its turnover in the preceding financial year is 130 lakhs, that is 1.3 crores. The firm wishes to opt for composition scheme under section 10.1 and 10.2a. However, the accountant is of the view that the person is engaged in making exempt supplies, therefore is not eligible. So accountant, see, the company are dealing in two products, one is an exempt product and one is a taxable product, okay, and the total turnover is 1.3 crores or 130 lakhs. Now the company wants to become a composition dealer, but the accountant says because you are making exempt supplies you are not eligible to become a composition dealer. Is the accountant correct? Discuss. Is the accountant correct? Answer is no, accountant is not correct. So if you are making taxable or exempt supply, does not matter, you can opt for composition scheme, provided your aggregate turnover should be up to 1.5 crores. So here what should I do, sir? I should write the provisions of section 10 subsection 1. Determine whether the supplier in the following cases are eligible for composition levy under section 10(1), 10(2) of CGST Act, provided their turnover in the preceding financial year did not exceed 1.5 crores. Mohan Enterprises engaged in trading pan masala. No, it cannot become a composition dealer, because he's engaged in he's engaged in trading in pan masala. If you are a manufacturer of pan masala, you cannot become a composition dealer. If you are trading in pan masala, Vimal, etc., no, yes, you can become a composition dealer. Sugam Manufacturers has registered in Punjab and is and Haryana and supplying goods in neighboring states. Can it become a composition dealer? No, because it is supplying to neighboring states, that is interstate outward supply, it cannot become a composition dealer. United Electronics, a dealer is supplying all types of, so basically this question is about conditions only, the previous question. So here you don't have to write all the conditions. With respect to that specific point, you should write the condition. For example, trading of pan masala, a person is not eligible to become a composition dealer if he is manufacturing pan masala. In the present case, since his Mohan Enterprises is trading in pan masala, it can opt for composition scheme. That is how you should answer, just one liner. United Electronics, a registered dealer, is supplying all types of electronic appliances in the state of Karnataka. Their aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year by way of supply of appliances was 120 lakhs. The firm also expects to provide repair and maintenance services for such appliances. With reference to the provisions of CGST Act, examine whether the firm can opt for composition scheme under section 10(1), 10(2) for the current year, as the turnover includes both goods and services. Now, can it opt for composition scheme? Now, that is the beauty. Can it opt for composition scheme because it is supplying goods as well as services? So, can it opt for composition scheme as per section 10 subsection 1 and 10 subsection 2? Answer is yes. Since the aggregate turnover is not exceeding 1.5 crores, it can opt for composition scheme because it is doing business in Karnataka. It can opt for composition scheme. For the state of Karnataka, limit is 1.5 crores. Since the aggregate turnover is not exceeding 1.5 crores, it can offer composition scheme. However, the services which is required to be supplied by United Electronics should be restricted to 10% of the turnover, that is 120 lakhs into 10%, which is equal to 12 lakhs or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. So if the value of the services which are supplied by United Electronics is less than or within the limit of 12 lakhs, then yes, it can become a composition dealer. If yes, what amount of services can be supplied? 12 lakh rupees. Okay, last question. Mr. Ajay has registered repair center where electronic goods are repaired and serviced. His repair center is located in the state of Rajasthan and he is not engaged in making any interstate supply of service. Okay, his aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year is 45 lakhs. With reference to the provisions, examine whether Mr. Ajay can opt for composition scheme under section 10 subsection 1 and 10(2)(a) for the current financial year. Answer is no, because he is having a repair center which is nothing but service center. He cannot become a composition dealer under 10(1), 10(2). Whether he is eligible to become a composition dealer under 10(2)(a), answer is yes, he can become a composition dealer under 10(2)(a) because his turnover is only 45 lakhs. It does not exceed 50 lakhs. Considering the option of payment of tax available to Mr. Ajay, compute the tax payable by him assuming his aggregate turnover in the current year is 35 lakhs. So if he opts for composition scheme and if his aggregate turnover is 35 lakhs, what is the tax which is required to be paid by him? 35 lakhs into 6%. Please note, in examination you should give breakup: 3% CGST, 3% SGST. It comes to 2.1 lakhs. So here the tax comes to 2.1 lakhs. Will your answer be different if Mr. Ajay procures items required for repair of services from neighboring states? No. Even if you purchase from other states, no issues. You cannot make outward supply to other states. You can make purchases from other states. So that is all for the day. I hope you have understood this beautiful topic, very important topic from your exam point of view. So let us meet in our next class. Till then, tada, bye bye, take care.